Good morning. Happy Monday. This is Mondays with Martha coming to you today talking about how to reduce anxiety during social distancing. And so we all know that we are faced with a tough situation, but that has put us in a situation where we don't know what's going to go on, how long it's going to how long it's going to go on, and where we are going in the future. So it causes us to be anxious around the situation. So let's talk about how to reframe this situation to make it work for us, because the anxiety, what we're doing, we're fighting and kicking against it, and it is overwhelming. Don't get me wrong, it does elicit emotions of panic, but how can we take that panic button and put it on pause and say, wait a minute, let's back up, let's take this situation one day at a time? And how do we reduce the anxiety throughout the whole situation, not just for us but for everybody around us, right? And talking about it is good, is great, don't get me wrong, but also because we are facing a dispensation of social distancing, isolation is a scary place, because isolation can be very dangerous. So how can we be creative during this time? So one of the things that made me think about this subject is because the panic that I'm seeing all around me. Should I panic? I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm really not in panic mode. I feel that at first it was like, wait a minute, what's going on? And now I'm in a mode of like, how can I make the best of this? And so they are giving us information, and we need to make sure that we understand the information that's given to us. But we don't know, honestly, we don't know how long this is going to be. So let's just take a step back and say, stop and breathe, and think about, some of us are working from home. How can we make the best of working from home? And that's really taking care of our health. Some of us are able to be home with our children. And if we look at it as, oh my God, it's a change. And change is hard for some people. Some people can't, some people have a tough time dealing with change. So so the question is, how do we, during this time, how can we make this work to reduce anxiety and not fall into depression? So here's some key elements, and a lot of people have way more ideas than I do. I just want to get you to thinking about taking this situation, putting your panic button on pause, because it is going to be a time to panic, and you only know in your life when that time comes. But let's take a step back and say, how can I make the best of this? I'm at home. I'm working from home currently, and I'm alone most of the day because I'm an empty nester. But number one, I make sure that I get my exercise. I'm eating healthy so I won't gain weight being home. That's kind of one of my anxieties, is I don't want to gain weight while I'm at home. So in order not to, I have to take the steps and do what I need to do, so I won't do that. But I've developed a routine. I had to first accept the fact that I have to develop a new norm. And what is that new norm? Everybody's norm look different. So taking that moment and taking a step back, how can I make this work for us? How can I make this work for me and my family? So it's planning, taking that time to plan, taking a step back and plan. You can only do what you can do, and that's making sure you do what the media and the president and the mayor and everybody is saying. The CDC is saying, be careful. We must be careful, and we must take these precautions. And we doing that part, but understanding that the worst case is, accepting the fact the worst case is if I get this virus, how can I protect my family? And so taking a step back and saying, I don't have it yet, so it's not time to worry, but just making sure we do it the best we can to protect ourselves. The second thing is, how can I get my family where they're not anxious? So let's take that panic button and put it on pause, and let's figure out how to be creative. One of the things that I thought about was I was calling my family and one by one it was kind of tough. It was because I have a lot of siblings. So my daughter-in-law gave me a great. She mentioned something about getting on a conference call, and I thought about I have Zoom. And so I used it to set up a weekly check-in, family check-in, and I haven't, we all from different states, so it was so nice seeing each one. It was like a mini family reunion, and so to be able to have a conference call to say check in, how you doing, how's the family doing, joke around, that eases anxiety, because when you have a good support system, it makes it so much easier to go through, because we're all in this together and we recognize the importance of community and support. Those are the two things that's going to get us through this: community and support. So let's take time. I see people on social media. Let's utilize social media to the best of our ability, because we can't be together, because we're not being together because we don't want to or we don't love our loved ones. We're not being together because we're trying to protect our loved ones. So now it's time to not be selfish, but to be kind to one another and considerate. So checking on our elderly, not just see whatever way you can. Do a FaceTime call, do a Zoom call, do something. Send a package to them. Watching out for them, looking out for them. Right now, let's not get in selfish mode, because it's going to make us more. It's going to put us in a more panic state. But if we take our time and say, how can I help during these times? It divert that energy and that anxiety, and it's putting it in a healthy form of action. So let's do that and see how that goes, because it's going to be a time in the season for all things. And another thing is, where do your faith lie? Is it in you, or is it in the one who created you? These are the questions this time is a time to reflect. We are not in restaurants anymore. We are not able to spend time with one another. We are not able to socialize, but we can, because we have social media, we have FaceTime, we have Zoom, we have all of these things that allow us to spend that quality time together. It's taking out that time, even if it's a one-on-one with someone. We cannot let this virus, it's already taken over, but we don't want it to take over and waste our energy during the day where we can really enjoy life in the midst of chaos, because we have that choice. So if you're working from home, take time, take 15-minute break and do some stretching. Take your lunch and take 30 minutes of your lunch and do some exercise if you can. If you got kids at home, do you work from home, they work from home. They have to do homework. Sit them down and you guys do it together. And that way you can have, it's like you're leading by example. And then another thing you can do is, when you take a break, they take a break. That's quality time. Don't escape this time right now where you can actually have quality time with your family. These are times where we really need that support. Kids need to know that their parents got them. They need to know that this is the time. They super excited. I can spend time with my mom, but if you don't organize it correctly, it won't happen right. And so we want to make sure that we do that. And so if whatever you could do to be creative, put it on Facebook. Share your experiences on Facebook, how you were creative, so that people can actually do the same, so that we can all get through this tough time together. But we are going to get through it because we're resilient like that, and we have a God who cares so much about us. He will sustain us. So whatever you do today, think about, how can I make this work? How can I turn this situation and reframe it to fit the narrative I want to have? And that's what I want you to really think about today. So happy Monday. Take out the time. Tell someone you love them. Give them a cyber hug. And send out pictures of yourself. Things that you're doing to have fun. I seen people I love roller skating. I seen people roller skating outside, and I am absolutely enjoying it. I see DJs who can't go into a club and DJ, but they are DJing online and entertaining us, and I am loving it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it, because we need this as a people. We need to know that there's so many different ways to be creative in this situation. But still continue to educate yourself on what's going on. Watch the news, see what's going on. But while we're in these times, let's make it work. Let's not get caught up in the worst part of what can happen. But let's not stop life. Let's put the panic button on hold, and let's propel forward to have some fun. So happy Monday. Enjoy your day. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.